女士们、先生们、朋友们，很高兴在旧金山同美国各界朋友见面，共叙友情，共话友好。1985年，我第一次访问美国，就是从旧金山入境。我对美国的第一印象来自旧金山，至今还保存着一张在金门大桥的留影。今天上午，拜登总统不知道从哪儿翻出来了，还给我看了看。首先我要向组织这次活动的美中关系全国委员会、美中贸易全国委员会、亚洲协会、美国对外关系委员会、美国商会等友好团体表示衷心的感谢，向长期致力于中美关系发展的美国朋友表示诚挚问候，向友好的美国人民致以良好祝愿。旧金山见证了中美两国人民100年交往的历史。158年前，大批中国工人来到美国，修建连接东西海岸的太平洋铁路，筚路蓝缕，在旧金山建起了西半球历史最悠久的唐人街。从这里出发，中美两国之间发展起7600亿美元双边贸易和累计2600多亿美元双向投资，建立起284对友好省州和友好城市关系，最多每周300多个航班和每年500多万人次的
and over 5 million travels every year at peak time.
这是全世界近1/4人口
These extraordinary accomplishments were made jointly by our peoples, accounting for nearly 1/4 of the global population.
旧金山见证了中美建设
San
美
Francisco
好世
has
界。
also borne witness to the efforts by China and the United States in building a better world.
78年前，
78 years ago,
在携手战胜法西斯主义和军国主
jointly
义之
defeating
后，
fascism and militarism,
中美共同参与发起
our two countries
旧金
initiated,
山制
together
宪
with
会，
others, the San Francisco
推
Conference,
动建立了联合国。
which helped found the United Nations.
中国第一个在联合国宪章
China
上
was the
签
first
字。
country to sign the UN Charter.
从这里出发，
Starting
二战后的国际秩序，
post-war international order was established.
100多个国家相继获
Over
得了
100
民族独
countries
立，
have gained independence one after another.
几十亿人口最终
Several
摆
billion
脱了
people
贫困。
have eventually shaken off poverty.
世界和平发展进步的力量不
Forces
断
for
成
world
长，
peace, development and progress have grown
这
strongly.
是各国人民和国际社会携手取
This
得
has been the
的
main fruit jointly achieved by people of all countries and the international community.
女士们、先生们、朋友
Ladies
们，
and gentlemen, friends,
中美关系的根基
foundation of China-U.S. relations was laid by our peoples.
第二次世界大战期间，
During World War
我们
II,
两国共同为
two
和平和
countries
正义而
fought
战。
side by side for peace and justice.
陈纳德将军带领美国志
Headed by
愿者
General Claire Lee
奔赴
Charnot,
中
a
国
group
战
of
场，
American volunteers known
举
as
行
the
了
Flying
著名的
Tigers
飞队。
went to the battlefield in China.
他们不仅直接对日本侵略者作
Not only
战，
engaged in direct
还
combat
建立
fighting
起向
Japanese
中
aggressors,
国运送
but also
急
created
需物资的驼峰航
pump
线。
airlift to transport much-needed supplies to China.
1000多名中美机组人员
More
牺
than
牲在这
1,000
条航线。
Chinese and American airmen lost their lives on this air route.
日本偷袭珍珠港后，
After Japan attacked Pearl Harbor,
1942年，美国空军16架
the
B-25
United States
轰炸
sent
机
16 B-25 bombers on an air raid to
由于
Japan
油
in
料
1942. Running low on
多
fuel,
尼特中校
taking
等
their
飞
mission,
行员在中
Lieutenant
国
Colonel
起
James
义
Doolittle
跳伞，
and his fellow pilots parachuted from
中国
China.
居民奋勇救
They
助，
were rescued by Chinese troops and local
日军
civilians.
竟因此屠杀了25万中国居民。
250,000 civilian Chinese were killed by Japanese aggressors in retaliation.
中国人民没有忘记飞
Chinese
队，
people never forget the flying
我们
tigers.
在重庆专门修建了
Built
纪
the
念馆，
Flying Tigers Museum in Chongqing.
邀请了1000多名飞虎队老
Invited
兵
over 1,000 Flying Tigers veterans and their
回
families
到中国。
come back to China.
我同他们中的一些人也一直有书
I
信往
kept in touch with some of them through letters.
最近，飞虎队老兵103岁高龄的莫耶
103-year-old
和
Harry
98
Moore
岁高龄
and
的
98-year-old Mel McClellan, both Flying Tigers veterans, went back to China. They
受到了
visited
中
the
国人
Great
热
Wall
烈欢迎。
and were warmly received by the Chinese people. 美国人民也没有忘记出死营救美国军人的中国人民。浙江衢州有一个杜立特行动纪念馆，当年获救的美国军人的后代经常来到这里，向见义勇为的中国人民表达敬意。我相信，血与火铸造的中美两国人民友谊， Confidence and friendship between our two peoples, which has stood the test of blood and fire, will be passed on from generation to generation.
中美关系的大门是由人民打开的。两国曾经隔绝对立22年，
22 years, there were estrangement and
是时代潮
antagonism
流
between our two countries.
让我们走向彼
The
此。
trend of the times brought
是
us
共同
together.
利益让中美
Convergent interests
超越分
enabled
歧，
us to rise above differences,
是人民愿望让两
people's
国
longing
打破坚
broke the
壁。
ice between the two countries.
1971年，
In 1971,
美国乒乓球代表团来到北京，
the U.S. table tennis team visited
小球
Beijing.
转动了大球。
A small ball moved the globe.
此后不久，此后不久，
Not long
马斯
after
菲尔
that,
德先生率领
Mr.
第
Mike
一个
Mansfield
美
led
国
the
国会
first
议员代
U.S.
表团来
congressional
华，
delegation to China.
包括爱荷华州州长
This
罗
was
克
followed
维
by the
在内
first
的
governor's delegation,
第一
including
个
Iowa
美国
Governor
州长
Rob
代表
Ray.
团来了，许多工商界人士
Then
也来
many
了，
business delegations also came,
掀起了中美友好交往
formed
的浪
waves
潮。
of friendly exchanges.
世界走出新冠疫情
This year,
大流
after the
行
world
后，
emerged from the COVID-19 pandemic,
我在北京见了基辛格博士、
I have respectively met in Beijing
比尔盖茨
Mr.
先
Henry
生，
Kissinger, Mr. Bill Gates,
也见了
舒默先生
Senator
和
Schumer
其他几位参议
and
员
his，Senate colleagues,
还有纽森州长，
and Governor Gavin Newsom.
我对他们讲，
I told them
中美关系希望在
the
人民，
hope of the China-U.S. relationship lies in the
在
people.
民间，
Its foundation is in our
未
societies.
来
Its
在青
future
年
depends on the youth,
活力。
and its vitality comes from exchanges at subnational levels.
我欢迎更多美国州
I
长，
welcome more U.S.
议员
governors,
访华，
congressional members,
欢迎美国
people
各
from
界
all
人
walks
士
of life
到中国
to
去。
visit China.
中美关系的故事是由人
The
民
stories
书
of
写的。
China-U.S. relations are written by our peoples.
我第一次访问美国时，
During my first visit to the United
住在
States,
艾奥瓦州
I
的
stayed
德国切
at
克
the
夫
Raw
家，
Traps in Iowa.
我还记得门牌号是邦尼街291号。
2911 Bonnie Drive.
这是我同美国民
That
众
was my
首
first
次
face-to-face
面
contact
对面
with the
接触，
Americans.
也是一段我和美国人民共
The
同生
days I
活
spent
的
with them
难忘
are
记忆。
unforgettable.
对我来说
For，me,
他们就是美国。
they represent America.
我也发现，
I have found
两国虽然历史文
that
化、
although
社
our
会
two
制
countries are
度、发
different
展道
in
路
history, culture, and social system,
但
and
人
embarked
民
on different development
都
paths,
善良友好，
our two peoples are both
勤劳
kind,
务实，
friendly, hardworking,
都爱
and
祖
down to
国
earth.
爱家
We
庭，
both love our countries, our families, and our
都
lives.
对彼此抱有
We
好
both
感
are friendly
和兴
toward
趣。
each other and are interested in each other.
正是善意友好的涓滴汇流，
Flow and
让
friendship
宽广太
that
平
has
洋
created a strong
不再
current
是偏
surging
见。
across the vast Pacific Ocean.
正是人民的双向奔
It is the
赴，
reaching out to
让
each
中
other
美
and
关
our
系
peoples
一次
that
次
has time and again
从
brought
低谷
China-U.S. relations
重回正
from a
途。
low ebb back onto the right track.
我相信
I'm convinced
中美关系的大
that
门一
once
旦
open,
打
the
开，
door of China-U.S. relations cannot be shut again.
两国人民友好
Once
事业已经开启，
Cause of China-U.S. friendship
半途而废。
cannot be derailed halfway.
人民友谊之树已经长
The
大，
tree of our people's
一定
friendship
能
has
够
grown tall
历
and
经
strong,
风雨。
and it can surely withstand the assault of any wind or storm.
中美关系的未来是由
The future
人
of
民
China-U.S. relations
创造。
will be created by our peoples.
越是困难的时
The
候，
more difficulties
越
there
需要
are,
拉近
the greater the need for us to forge a closer bond
增
between
进
our
人心的
peoples
沟通，
and to open our hearts to
越
each
需
other.
要更多的人
The more people
站出来
need
为
to
中
speak
美
up
关系
for this relationship.
呼。我们要为人民之间的交往搭建更多桥梁，铺
People
设
to people
更多道
interactions.
路，而不是设
We
置
must
各种
not
障
erect
碍，
barriers,
制造寒
create
蝉
a
效
chilling
应。
effect.
我今天同
Today,
拜登总
President
统
Biden and
达
I
成重要
reached
共识，
important consensus.
两国将推出
The
更
two
多
countries
便
will
利
roll
人
out
员
more
往
measures
来
to、facilitate
促
travels
进
and
人文
promote
交流的
people
措
to
施
people exchanges,
包括增加中
including
美
increasing
客
direct
运直
passenger
航航
flights,
班，举办中美旅游
holding
高
a
层对
high-level
话，
dialogue on tourism,
优化签证申请
streamlining
流
visa
程。
application procedures.
我们期待着两国人
We
民
hope that our two
多
peoples
走动、
will make more visits,
多来往、
contacts, and
多
exchanges,
交流，共同续写新时代
write new stories of
两国人
friendship
民友好
in
的
the
故
new
事。
year.
我也期待着
I also hope
加州
that
和
California
旧金
and
山
San Francisco
在中美友好的征程上
take the lead
继
in
续
the journey
领跑。
of growing China-U.S. friendship.
女士们、先生们、朋友们，
Ladies and gentlemen, friends,
我们处在一个充满挑战
we are
变
in
化
an
的时
era
代
of，challenges and changes.
也处在一个充
It
满
is
希
also
望
an
的时
era
代。
of hope.
世界的未来
The
需要
world
中美
needs
合作。
China and the United States to work together for a better
作
future.
为世界上最大
We,
的
the largest
发
developing
展中国
country,
家，中国
as
和
China,
最大
and
的
the
发
largest
达国家
developed
美
country, the
国、
United States,
中美要好好打交道。
must get along with each other.
面对变乱交织的世界，
In a world of changes and
中美
chaos,
更需要有宽广的
it
胸
is
怀
ever，more important for us
展
to
现
have the
大国
mind,
格局，
assume the vision,
拿出
shoulder
大
the
国担当，
responsibility,
发挥
and
大
play the
国。
role that come along with our status as major countries.
我一直在思考，
I've always had one question on my mind.
如何让中美关系这
How
艘
to
巨
steer
轮
the giant ship, China-US
避
relations,
开
clear
浅礁、暗礁浅滩，穿越狂风巨
navigated
浪，
through storms and
不
waves
偏航，
without getting disoriented, losing speed,
碰撞。
even having a collision.
首先要回答
In
的
this
是，
respect, the number one question
中美
is
到
this:
底是对
Are
手
we adversaries,
还是伙伴？
partners?
这是一个根
This
本
is the
的，
fundamental
也是
and
管总的问
overarching
题。
issue.
道理很简
The logic
单
is，quite simple.
如果把对方视为
One
最
sees
主
the
要
other
竞
side
争对
as
手
the primary
最
competitor,
重大地
most
缘政治
consequential
挑战
geopolitical challenge,
和步步紧
and a
逼的
pacing
威
threat
胁，必然导致错误
only
政
lead
策
to misinformed
采
policymaking,
取错误的
misguided
行动，
actions,
产生错误的
unwanted
结果。
results.
中国愿意
China
与
is
美
ready
国
to
做
be a
伙
partner
伴、
and friend of the
做
United
朋友。
States.
我们处理中美关系的根本
Fundamental
遵循
principles that we follow in handling
就是
China-US
相互尊
relations
重、
are mutual respect,
和平共处、
peaceful coexistence,
合作共赢。
win-win cooperation.
相互尊重是人与人
Just
打
as
交
mutual
道的
respect
基本
is
理
a
由，
basic code of behavior for
也是
individuals
中美两国相处的起码准
in
则。
China-US relations.
美国有独特的
The
历
United
史文
States
化
is unique
和
in
地
its
理位
history,
置，
culture, and
塑
geographical
造
position,
自身的
which
发
have
展
shaped
道
its
路
distinct
和
development
制
path and social
度，我
system.
们充分
Fully
尊
respect
重。
all this.
中国特
The
色
path
社
of
会
socialism
主
with
导
Chinese
科学社会
characteristics
主义
has
的
been
指导
found
下
under the guidance of the theory of scientific socialism.
植根于
It is
5000多
rooted
年
in
源
a
源不
tradition
断
of
的
the
中华
Chinese
文明。
civilization with an uninterrupted history of more than 5,000 years. We are proud of our choice, just as you are proud of yours.
两条道路不同，
Our paths are
但都
different,
是人民的
but
选
both
择，
are the choice by our
都是
peoples,
通向
and both
全人类
lead to
共
the
同价值，
realization of the common values
都
of
应该
humanity.
得到尊重。
They should be both respected.
和平共处
Peaceful
是国际关
coexistence
系
is
基
a
本
basic
准则
norm for international relations,
更是中美两个
and
大
it's
国
even more of a baseline that China and the United States should hold on to
把
as
坚持
two
和
major
平发展
countries.
的中国视为威
It
胁，
is wrong to view China, which is committed to peaceful development, as a threat, and thus play a zero-sum game against it.
中国
China never bets against the United States
从不干涉
and never
美国内
interferes
政，
in its internal affairs.
也无意挑战
China has no
取代
intention to challenge the United States or to
乐
unseat
见
it.
一个
Instead,
自信
we
开
will be
放
glad to see a
发展繁荣的美国。
prosperous United States.
同样，
Likewise,
美国也不要主中国事，不要干涉
or
中国内
interfere
政，
in China's internal affairs.
应该欢迎一个
We should instead welcome a peaceful, stable, and prosperous China.
合作共赢是时代发展的潮流，也是中美
And
关
it
系
is also
应该
an
有的
inherent
特色。
property of China-US relations.
中国正致力于
China is
高质量
pursuing
发展，
high-quality development,
美国也在
and
着
the
力
United
振
States
兴
is
经济，
revitalizing its economy.
双方合作
There is
空
plenty
间
of
无
room.
限广阔，完全
We are
可以
fully
相互
able
成
to
就
help each other succeed and achieve win-win outcomes.
中方提出的
Belt and Road Initiative,
共建“一带一路”倡议，以
as
全
well
球
as
发
the
展
Global
倡议
Development Initiative,
全
the
球
Global
安全
Security,
倡议全球
Global Civilization Initiative proposed by
都
China
面向各国开放，包括美国。
times, including the United States.
中方也愿参
China
与
is also ready to participate in U.S. proposed multilateral cooperation initiatives.
今天上午，
This morning,
我同拜登总统
President Biden and I
同意
agreed
本着相互
to
尊重
promote dialogue and cooperation in a spirit of mutual respect
在外交、
in
经贸、
trade,
人文、
people-to-people exchange, education,
科技、
science and technology, agriculture,
军队、
military,
执法、
law enforcement,
人工智能
and artificial
开展
intelligence.
对话合作，把合作
We
的清
agreed
单打
to
得
make
更
the
长，
cooperation list
把
longer
合作的蛋
and the
糕
pile of cooperation
做更
bigger.
大。刚才雷蒙多
Just now, Secretary Raimondo
告诉大家，
mentioned
中方对芬太尼
the issue of
美
fentanyl.
国人民
I'd like to let you know that China sympathizes deeply with the American people, especially the young, whose sufferings of fentanyl has inflicted upon them.
建立
President Biden and I have agreed to set up a working group on counter narcotics,
协助
further
美
our
国应对
cooperation and help the United States tackle drug abuse.
我愿在此宣布，
I also wish to
为
announce
扩
here
大中美两国
that to
人民
increase
的
exchanges between our peoples, especially between the youth,
中方未来
China is ready to invite
愿邀请
50,000 young
5
Americans
万
to
名
China
美国青少年
on exchange and study programs in the next 5 years.
不久前，
Recently,
华盛顿国家动物
the
园
three
的3
pandas
只大
at the
熊猫，
Smithsonian's National Zoo in Washington returned to China.
我听说很
I
多
was
美国
told
民众
that
特
many
别
American
孩子
people,
们
especially children, were really reluctant to
专门
say
到动物园去送行。
them off.
我还了解
I also
到，
learned that the
圣达哥动物园和
San
加州
Diego
人
Zoo
民热
and
切
the
期盼
Californians
大熊
very
猫
much look forward to welcoming pandas back.
大熊猫是
Pandas
中美
have
人
long
民
been
的
envoys of friendship between the Chinese and American
我们
peoples.
愿意继续同美国
We are
开
ready
展
to
大
continue
熊
our
猫
cooperation with the United States. We do our best to meet the wishes of the Californians so as to deepen friendly ties with the Ladies and gentlemen, friends,
中国是世界上最
China
大
is the
的
largest developing country in the world.
工作的更好，
Chinese people long for better jobs, better
孩
lives,
子们成
and
长
better education for their
是
children.
14亿多
This
中
is
国
what the
人民的
1.4 billion
一片心愿
Chinese hold dear to their hearts.
中国共产党就是给
Communist Party of China, CPC, is committed to working for the people, and our people's expectation for a better life is our goal.
就是必须守住
This
人民的心。
secure their support.
经过100年
Thanks to a
踏实
century of
阶级奋
exploration
斗
and struggle,
我们已经找到了
we
一
have
条
found
适合
the development
自己
path
发展
that
道
suits
路
us.
正在以中国式
We are
现
now
代化
advancing the rejuvenation of the Chinese nation on all fronts by pursuing Chinese modernization.
我们致力
We are
团结奋
committed
斗，
to
让
striving
全
in
体中国人
unity
民一
to
起
achieve
迈向
modernization for all Chinese.
人口众
A
多
large
是中
population
国的基本
is a fundamental aspect of China's reality.
不过我现在把人口最多的桂冠啊
Now
交给印度了，
we have to give the crown.
我们是第2个。
China is now home to the second largest population.
再大的成就
So for China, our achievements, however great,
都会
would
变
be
得
very small.
再小的问
The
题，
problem,
乘以
however
10
small, would be huge when multiplied by 1.4 billion.
这就是大的难
This
题。
is a unique challenge for a country of our size.
同时，大也有大的
In the meantime, big also means strength.
中国共产党领
The
导，
leadership of the
中国
CPC,
特色社
a
会
system of
主义
socialism with Chinese
广大人民
characteristics,
群众的拥
and the
护，
endorsement and support of the people are our greatest strength.
中国是超大
China
规
is
模
both a super large economy
形成了超
and
大
a。super large market.
前不久，我们成
Not
功
long
举办
ago,
第6届
The 6th China International Import Expo was held. It attracted over 3,400 business exhibitors from 128 countries, including the United States. The exhibition area of American companies have been the largest for 6 consecutive years. Modernization for 1.4 billion Chinese is a huge opportunity that China provides to the world. We are committed to prosperity for all, to deliver a better life to each and every Chinese. To eliminate poverty is the millennia-old dream of the Chinese nation. And prosperity for all is the longing of all Chinese. Before I turned 16, I was in a village in northern Shanxi province, where I lived and farmed with the villagers. I spent 7 years there, and I knew about their worries and needs. Now, I always feel confident and strong in staying with the people. Serving the people selflessly and living up to their expectations is not a slogan. When I became General Secretary of the CPC Central Committee and President of the People's Republic of China, the line set by the United Nations. Thanks to 8 years of tenacious efforts, we lifted them all out of poverty. We realized the poverty reduction goal of the UN 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development 10 years ahead of schedule. In this process, over 1,800 CPC members lost their lives in the line of duty. Our goal is not to have just a few wealthy people, but to realize common prosperity for all. Employment, education, medical services, childcare, elderly care, housing, the environment and the like. These are real issues important to people's daily life and close to their heart. They are being steadily integrated into our top-level plans for national development, thus ever increasing the sense of fulfillment, happiness and security of our people. We will continue and deliver the benefits of modernization to all. This is the CPC's founding mission, and the pledge we have made to the people will surely be realized with the support of the people. We are committed to well-rounded development to achieve both material and cultural ethical advancement for the people. Our forefathers observed that when people are well-fed and well-clad, they will have a keen sense of honor and shame. Material shortage is not socialism, nor is cultural ethical impoverishment. Chinese modernization is people-centered. An important goal of Chinese modernization is to continue increasing the country's economic strength, improving the people's living standards, and at the same time enrich ability throughout society and promoting well-rounded development of the person. The purpose of the Global Civilization Initiative I proposed is to urge the international community to address the imbalance between material and cultural advancement and jointly promote continued progress of human civilization. We are committed to sustainable development to achieve harmony between man and nature. The belief that humans are an integral part of nature and need to follow nature's course is a distinctive feature of traditional Chinese culture. We live in the same global village, and we possibly wouldn't find another inhabitable planet in our lifetime. As an English saying goes, We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children. When I was governor of Fujian, I called for turning Fujian into the first ecological province in China. Later, when I worked in Zhejiang province in 2005, I said that clean as valuable as gold and silver. Today, China has close to half the world's China now has half of the world's installed photovoltaic capacity. Over half of the world's new energy vehicles now run on roads in China. China contributes 1/4 of increased area of deforestation in the world. We will strive to achieve carbon neutrality before 2060. We have made the pledge. We never exaggerate, but we will honor everything we say. We are committed to peaceful development, to build a community with a shared future for mankind. Peace, amity, and harmony are values embedded in Chinese civilization. Aggression and expansion are not in our genes. The Chinese people have bitter and sufferings inflicted upon them in modern times. I often say that what the Chinese people oppose is war. They want is stability. What they hope for is enduring world peace. Great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation cannot be achieved without a peaceful and stable international environment. In pursuing modernization, we will never revert to the beaten path of war, colonization, plundering, or coercion. Throughout the 70 years and more since the founding of the People's Republic, China has not provoked a conflict or war or occupied a single inch of foreign land. China is the only major country that has written peaceful development into the constitution of the country and the constitution of the governing party, thus making peaceful development a commitment to the nation. It benefits from and safeguards the current international order. We remain firm in safeguarding the international system with the UN at its core, the international order underpinned by international law, and based on the purpose and principles of the UN Charter. Whatever stage of development it may reach, China will never pursue hegemony or expansion and will never impose its will on others. China does not seek spheres of influence and will not fight a cold war or a hot war with anyone. China will remain committed to dialogue and close confrontation and partnerships instead of alliances. We will continue to pursue a mutually beneficial strategy of opening up. The modernization we are pursuing is not for China alone. We are ready to work with all countries to advance global modernization featuring peaceful development, mutually beneficial cooperation, and common prosperity, and to build a community with a shared future for mankind. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, the passage of time is like a surging river. Much is washed away, but the most valuable stays. No matter how the global landscape evolves, the historical trend of peaceful coexistence between China and the United States will not change. The ultimate wish of our two peoples for exchanges and cooperation will not change. Expectations for the whole world of a steadily growing China-US relationship will not change. For any great cause to succeed, it must take root in the people. It must gain strength from the people and be accomplished by the people. Growing China-US friendship is such a great cause.
让我们
Let us
汇集
galvanize
两国
the
人民
Chinese
的
and
力
American
量，
peoples into a strong force
更续
to renew China-US friendship,
推进中美
advance
关系，
China-US relations,
努力为促
and
进
make
世界
even
和平
greater
和发展做出更大
peace
贡
and
献。
development.
谢谢大家。
Thank you.